Good evening, everybody. My name is Maria Leggett, and I am coming live to you from Dayton, Ohio. I absolutely love being in Dayton. I know not a lot of people think Ohio is great, but I do. It is the heart of it all. So I want to give a huge shout out to my most amazing producer, Dave, who is brilliant and always keeps my show running and going. And I am so grateful to him for the laughs that he gives me before I come on, which is always why I start this show with a smile. It's all because of Dave. So tonight I want to talk about us being, yes, I rock. He just sent me a text. Yes, you do. So I want to talk about October. October is that month where we talk about it being the veil is thin. What does the veil is thin mean? So let's talk about that. We have Beltane, right, which is we're talking about the wheel of the year. So Beltane is May 1st, and with Beltane, it's the light is beginning to come back, right? It's where the fertility is coming back, the earth is coming back to life. And on the summer solstice, the light actually is coming much back in, which is why we have Persephone who comes out from the underworld. And so Beltane starts the beginning of the earth coming back to life and the fertility beginning. And then we have Samhain, which is Halloween and October 31st. Samhain is that midpoint between Beltane and the next Beltane when the earth is going to come back to life. So that is why October is considered the veil is the thinnest because we are between the worlds in that moment. And so we have the opening where our spirits talk to us and our ancestors are coming in and joining us for all the things, being able to talk to us. And we absolutely love having them around us, being able to enjoy hearing from them, seeing their signs and symbols. And so, if you would like to have a personal reading with one of your ancestors, one of your crossover loved ones, you can book with me at marialeggett.com. I would love to do that with you, one to one, just you and me. And so, tonight we are going to welcome Shay to the show. Hello, Shay. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
How may I be of service to you this evening?
I was wondering if there was any message from my mom or my uncle Daryl.
Okay. We are definitely going to step into mom's vibration. Um, Mom is stepping forward and she's showing me that right now you really need to have a wonderful, loving hug from someone that you feel safe with. She says that it's important for you to feel that sense of belonging so that you don't feel alone. And she shows it to me as though there are some things that have been weighing kind of heavy on your heart lately, and that you really miss being able to sit down and kind of talk things out with her. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And she says that she wants you to know that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, but we just have to bear with it and get through the tunnel and understand that there's always darkness before the light. What I can hear is darkness before the dawn, and that sometimes things can be really rough, but it doesn't mean that we should give up. And she says that she wants you to know that you are not alone through everything that you are going through, and she doesn't want you to give up. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
She's
I've been having financial worries, and I guess I was missing her.
Yeah, she says that you would often talk to her about things, and that after you were done talking, you always felt very relieved. And she's sorry that she can't provide you with the same support like she used to, but she wants you to know that she's with you and listens to you when you talk to her. Um, she shows me as though she would have sat in either a recliner or a rocker, something that would help give her some support. And she just shows it to me that you'd be able to sit with her, and she shows me the touching of the hands, right? Being able to hold hands and just have a conversation. And you always felt very supported by her. And that you will, she said, she always finds a way to get through what she needs to get through. And so she's showing me, okay, I don't know why this is important, but she's showing me as though if you were to go into the kitchen, there's like a, I would call it a cookie jar or a flour jar or something where we've like got money stashed. So I don't know why that's
Uh-huh.
important. Um, but she's talking about when times are not difficult, that it would be really helpful if you would take, $2 or $3 or a $5 bill and start putting it into this extra container, that where, and pretending like it doesn't exist, and that when the time comes and you do need it, you can just reach in there and grab it and pull it out and go, oh my goodness, I'm so glad this was here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
um and she talks to me about, I feel like I need to pick up a coffee cup or a teacup and start drinking from it, because she's just showing me that she misses having a hot beverage and being able to share conversation with you. What kind of questions do you have for her?
When will we be moving? We're looking for a house, me and my husband.
Okay.
Does she like my husband, Tim? She never got to meet him.
um she says that she's, your mom's a kind of a blunt, honest kind of woman.
Yeah.
And she says that she wishes that he would support you emotionally more than he does, but that he has the best intentions and is good to you in the way that he knows how. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Um, she's showing me that it's going to be difficult to try and buy a house and move before Christmas. So look for things to open up and become more clear after the beginning of the year.
Okay.
And it does feel like it would be more of like the first quarter, so like earlier on in like January, February. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
She says that she's showing me that there was, for your wedding, she shows it to me as though it was a small ceremony. It wasn't really big. And she says, but I need you to know that I was there because I was honored. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
She says, I was honored, I was there, and she needs to know that I was a part of her wedding. She shows it to me as though there was something attached to you, or that you wore something that would have represented her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And she's so grateful that you brought her in and shared that moment with her, allowing her to be in it with you. And she was so grateful. Um, She says to me that your husband was super nervous that day. She's making my like palms sweat and saying he was really nervous about all the things that were going to happen, but that the day turned out to be absolutely beautiful, and that she is grateful that you are finding love and acceptance in a relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you have one last question for her?
Um, is she with her brother, Uncle Daryl?
She shows it to me as though she is with all of the family. And they show it to me as though they are sitting at a table all together having a family meal. So there are her parents, and there's her, and there is a male sitting at the table. And she shows it to me as though, she just shows it to me as though he had some difficulty breathing before he passed, which, I mean, that's a pretty big thing, but that's what she's showing me. And she wants you to know that they're all together having family meals just like they used to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And she says, "We want you to
Um,
know that we watch over you." And she says to make sure that you set a place setting at Thanksgiving for them because they are going to be with you and they are going to share in the holiday with you, being able to, and I don't know why this is important, but she says, make sure you light the candles. I don't know what that means, but she says, light the candles. So I don't know if you ever have them on the table, but she wants you to light the candles. Does that make sense?
oh, yeah, on special holidays, I try to make the table fancy,
Perfect.
and so I do bring.
Perfect.
So I bring candles just on special occasions.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Shay, so much for coming on to the show. I so appreciate you and your energy. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you so much to all of you for coming on and watching me this evening. I am grateful for all of you. If you would like to book a one-to-one reading with me, please go to marialeggett.com, or you can sign up for classes to learn how to do your work with your own intuition and do mediumship at templeofthesacredcircle.org. And while you're there, you can sign up for Spirit Guide 101, which is going to help you to discover all the different types of spirit guides. And in each class, there is a meditation where you get to meet one of your spirit guides. And that is also at templeofthesacredcircle.org. So thank you so much to all of you for being here. I am so grateful. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful rest of your night. Thank you so much for being here. Have a good one.